everyone, and welcome to Midway Stadium for CTN's continuing coverage of Section 4 AAA baseball playoffs. Tonight, in the fourth round, it's the Coon Rapids Cardinals going up against the Stillwater Ponies. Joe Yund and Howie Shapiro with you for today's game. As you see, they're going through the starting lineups and getting the infield ready. Howie.
Well, Joe, we should be in store for an interesting game. There's a couple of good matchups. The Cardinals are going to be throwing Chad Drexler, their number one pitcher for their squad, and an interesting matchup for Stillwater. Matt Padgett's going to throw for the Ponies. He throws a lot of fastballs, Joe, and this is exactly playing into the strength of the Cardinals. They like to hit that fastball, so we're going to see what kind of game we have here this afternoon.
And depending on the outcome of this game, has a lot to do with how these playoffs will be played. If the Cardinals win, they will play the Bengals, who upset the number 2 seed Anoka just before this game by 6-4 margin. They will play Blaine on Monday in Anoka at 10 a.m. at Castle Field. The winner of that game would then move on to play the loser of tonight's game between Mounds View and White Bear Lake back here at Midway Stadium at 2. Now, if Stillwater wins, both of those games on Monday will be here at
6 and 8
at Midway, and they will be at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Yep.
So depending on who wins this game, it really changes the whole design of the tournament.
It's interesting how the Cardinals are running out to be introduced. The Stillwater Ponies were basically lined up on the sideline, and the Cardinals run out to their position to be introduced. I kind of like that.
And there they are, spreading out, hoping to get back on track after the stumble against Mounds View. There's a look at how they are in the field. Dan Mossy getting a start in left field. Jabril Akinwale and Ryan Wilson always in center and right. Dan Anderson at third base. Dustin Wolf is playing short. Eric Hughes and Mike Patterson are the right side of the infield. Tom Newman is behind the plate, and on the mound, as you mentioned, Howie, the number one ace for the Cardinals, Chad Drexler.
You know, and you mentioned that Dan Mossy is going to get the start out in left. Coach Coe told me that Dan is really practicing well and hitting the ball well, and I think that's what they want to see as a spark more so towards the bottom of the lineup. And we'll see tonight if Dan will be able to come through. Played a little bit in the last game, got an inning at left in there, and I think he also was a pinch hitter for the Cardinals on Wednesday.
And another good aspect that Dan Mossy brings to the lineup is speed. We've seen him as a pinch runner quite a few times this season, and he does have the wheels on the baseline, so if he can get on base, he is a danger, a threat. And that's what the Cardinals need.
Now, as far as Chad Drexler goes, Chad is really a nibbler. I mean, he likes to hit the corners of the plate. He's going to work the batter rather than, for example, say a Dan Anderson who's going to have the ball put in play. Chad leads this squad with a 1.12 ERA, so certainly that when Chad is on his game, he is very tough to hit. And I talked to him before the game. He said he was ready, he feels good, and he can't wait to get out there and start throwing the ball.
And the Cardinals is a look at the Stillwater Ponies. Head coach Ricky Michael. And there is their lineup. They'll start with their right fielder in second, leading batter. That's Brian Battaglia. Joel Jordan follows up. Their top hitting performer is Andrew Polina hitting in third. Nolan Gusso is hitting in cleanup. Joey Corba, Mike C, the DH. Scott Bressler and Matt Padgett round out the second four, and Adam Swiney will hit out of the hole. And here is the first pitch of the ball game. It's a called strike on the inside corner to Battaglia.
Well, Coach Michael told me that the key for his squad is to get to Drexler early. They need to frustrate him. They're only hitting 257 as a team. So, you know, they want to force Chad to throw a lot of pitches, which he does anyway, but they want to see if they can rattle him in this first inning.
And after bringing the heat up and in, he throws the breaking ball down and away and evens the count, and that one is a fastball high, 2-1.
And we've talked, Joe, plenty of times that Chad is a fast worker. He doesn't take a lot of time between pitches. He just rears back and throws.
High and inside, and Drexler is behind to the first batter of the ball game, 3-1.
Now, certainly not what Chad wants to do is to walk the opening hitter of this game. Look for a fastball down the middle from Chad. I think he'll throw his heat right here.
We have not seen Battaglia swing the bat yet, and we won't. In his first appearance, he'll walk on 5 pitches. That'll bring up Joel Jordan, the second baseman, hitting .297 on the season.
Battaglia is a threat to score. He has 4 stolen bases this season. So we'll see what he does and what kind of lead. If it typically what we've been seeing is a couple of steps, we'll see what Brian here has to offer.
Drexler hoping to get settled into the ballgame a little quicker than Anderson was able to against Mounds View. First pitch to Jordan is fouled back off the screen. Another fastball right down the middle from Drexler.
Take a look at Joel's numbers. He's hitting close to the 300 mark for the season.
Ground ball now, get us ground ball.
Drexler keeping an eye on Battaglia, but the pitch fouled up off the mesh again. And
I'm not sure if they submitted. It looked like a foul. Did the ball hit him on the hands before it hit the bat? I don't think another opportunity to see this. We'll see exactly what happened.
Not quite certain what happened.
But nonetheless, the Cardinals are starting off in a hole right here with nobody out, runners at first and second.
Number 9, Andrew Olina, left field.
Take another look at that, Joe. That was awful quick. I couldn't tell what that was. I don't know how the umpire could tell what that was either.
Looked like a foul to me. This one bunted high in the air. Anderson picks it off. The throw to second, they got it.
Beautiful
Double play.
Heads up play by Dan Anderson. He made a nice play, come charging in from third to get what that was, an attempted bunt. Obviously the bunt wanted to be on the ground, but he didn't waste any time as he turned and threw over to Eric Hughes for that double play.
Take another look at it, and it was really a terrible bunt attempt, and Battaglia halfway to third, and Anderson took his time actually and still got it back in plenty of time. Good stretch by Eric Hughes on the base.
Chad
checks on Jordan over at first. Nolan Gasso at the plate.
And certainly for the Cardinal defense, that's obviously the way you want to get out of any kind of a trouble situation is heads-up play and a good heads-up by the junior.
Jordan's going, and it's a hit and run. This one into right field for Gusso, and Jordan will hold up at third, a single.
Nicely executed hit and run by the Ponies. As Jordan took off with the pitch, Gusso was able to fight it off and hit it into short right field.
Jordan leads the Ponies in steals with 6 on the season, so he is threatening on the base path.
You say he's going to steal home?
I am not suggesting that, Howie.
Just wanted to find out.
Too early in the ball game for something like that. 2 out, runners at the corners here in the top of the first inning.
I'll look for the double steal maybe in this situation with Gasso over at first to see if he takes off and tries to see if Tommy Newman will throw the ball down there.
One high and inside to Joey Corba for ball 1. Hear the train rumbling through the outfield. The 1-0 pitch. Finds the inside corner and evens the count.
Now, so far, our coach Michael for the Ponies is having his squad do what they want. They're trying to get at Chad. Good defensive play got him out of some trouble.
And another called strike to Corba. It's 1-2.
Now this will be a pitcher's pitch here from Chad. He's ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Going to see what, maybe he'll pull the string as we talk about so often on this pitch.
Steps off and makes sure that Gusso isn't getting any plans over at first base. And now he steps in, and the pitch is high. Ball 2.
Chad came across with a fastball, and that a little bit up in the strike zone. Well, Chad's a cool customer. Certainly, he's going to think only about getting out this batter.
2-2. Fouled off the first base line, and Corba will stay alive. Nice sunny day here at Midway Stadium. Wind blowing a little, but not too bad. And called strike 3, and Drexler gets out of the inning.
Big pitch from Chad Drexler as he was under a little adversity, but got able to get out of it. Take another look here. As it is a called strike, and he's not happy with himself. The side angle is a nice fastball, right down low in the strike zone. And he's not happy with himself as he's thinking about throwing the bat, but thought better of it.
So 1 hit in the books for Stillwater in that first inning. They leave 2 runners stranded, and they score no runs. And here is how they will look in the outfield. Andy Polina out in left field, Brandon Maxwell at center, and Brian Battaglia is in right. On the base paths is Nolan Gusso, Joey Corbett, Joel Jordan, and Scott Bresler. Adam Soini is behind the plate, and on the mound is Matt Padgett.
As I mentioned earlier, Joe, Padgett really is a fastball pitcher. He's going to mix a little bit up with a breaking ball, but he wants to keep it low, and the key for that is to get ahead of the hitters. Here's his numbers. He's got a 2.92 ERA, 48 innings pitched, 57 strikeouts. He's second on the squad in that with 12 free passes. But
it's a pretty strong ratio, 57 to 12.
You bet. He last pitched against White Bear Lake, where the Bears beat the Pony 6-2, and his downfall was he was not able to get a hold of the pitch, get ahead of the pitchers or the batters. I'm sorry.
So look at how the Cardinals will play the offense. Akinwale leading off. Hughes, Drexler, Anderson hitting in cleanup. Then Dustin Wolf, Mike Patterson, Ryan Wilson, Dan Mossy hitting in secondary cleanup, and Tom Newman will hit out of the hole. First pitch from Padgett is high to Akinwale, ball 1.
Well, Padgett has given up 4 home runs. He does, like I said, he does pitch the fastball in 8 appearances. That's about 1 every other game.
And this one is deep to right field. It's headed foul. Battaglia is on the run, but can't make the play. Getting good contact was Akinwale. Straightened that one out, and it might have a chance at the fences.
Akinwale hitting .441 this season.
That one's high, ball 2.
He is the leading hitter for these Cardinals. Who do you think number 2 is, Joe?
I am going to say Chad Drexler.
God, you're good.
2-1. And this one is shot out into right again. It's going to go foul. Battaglia nowhere near this time. Well, and the count is 2-2.
Sorry, Joe. You can see that Padgett is coming with that fastball, trying to get it by the Akinwale, I was going to say, and all the Coon Rapids hitters. We'll see how much he's going to actually mix that breaking ball up.
Fouled back, and Akinwale will stay alive, and that was a fastball right down the pipe.
Yes, it was.
And of course, throwing that much heat, you've got to imagine that that will tire the arm out a little bit quicker and make it a little bit easier for the Cardinals to get hits in the late innings. This one chopped to the right side of the infield. Jordan scoops it up over to Bresler, and there's one away.
And Jordan threw that with a little bit of heat over to Bresler at first, and Bresler had to make a nice play to make sure that ball did not get by him.
That'll bring up Eric Hughes, the second baseman for the Cardinals. 1 out and nobody on.
Now, if you want to know who number 3 hitter is for the Cardinals, it's none other than Eric Hughes at batting .385.
See, now I would have guessed that. You didn't give me the chance.
Well, you know.
First pitch fouled back off the post. And Hughes settles back in for the 0-1 pitch. 1 out, nobody on for the Cardinals in the bottom of the first. That one's low and away. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Cardinals escaped a bit of a jam in the first inning, allowing a runner to get to third. Two free passes to start the inning. a base on balls and then a hit by pitch. Then a great double play by Dan Anderson to take the lead runner. And then a single to right field, put runners at the corners, and a called strike 3 got Drexler out of the inning. And now the Cardinals trying to get something done on offense. And called strike 2. Eric Hughes thought that was the walk, but the home plate umpire had different plans. That is John Junt calling the strikes. This time it is ball 4, and Hughes is aboard.
Well, the Cardinals certainly getting Eric Hughes aboard here with Chad Drexler coming up. There is John Junt. Good look at the home plate umpire. Bill Hafner is the base umpire for this evening's contest.
And now he's got a base runner to watch.
Exactly. And I was saying is Eric Hughes getting on base with Drexler, who had a good game against Steve Graisley the other night. Got a couple of the Cardinal hits, a double and a home run.
First pitch is a fastball high and away, ball 1.
Always a situation where the pitcher can help himself out here.
And always an interesting matchup when you see the pitcher hitting against the opposing pitcher.
Padgett keeping Hughes close over there at first base. Eric gets an opportunity to get his uniform dirty right away.
Always like that. Extra laundry for mom.
I'm sure mom likes that too.
Second pitch to Drexler is outside again, and it's 2-0. That one fouled back and out of play. And once again, we're seeing that fastball.
Well, like I said, the majority of pitches he's going to throw tonight is going to be the fastball, and he's just basically a power pitcher trying to throw against a good hitting fastball, a good fastball hitting lineup.
2-1 pitch sneaks under the bat of Chad Drexler, and the count is even at 2 apiece. There's one out and a runner at first base for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game.
I think it was a little windier earlier, Joe, when we were here watching the first game between Blaine and Anoka. And I think that a ball driven to the outfield has a good chance to make it out.
Drexler hit a home run against Mounds View, the only run scored by the Cardinals. And he drives this one deep to center. Maxwell going back. He makes a great grab. Hughes has to hustle all the way back. He had rounded second base, and he'll be back safe, but a deep fly out for Chad Drexler. And you hear him. He was thinking maybe he might have put the Cardinals on the board.
Well, he certainly gave that one a ride, but he gave it to the deepest part of center field, just about. And nice play there by Maxwell to really camp under that and get that ball. But we saw an even greater catch earlier in this day. The Blaine outfielder, left fielder, made a great catch right at the wall just as he ran into it to take a possible a hit away from Anoka. And Blaine could be the Cinderella team in this tournament, Joe.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Well, they're the 12th seed, and they are just two games away from going to the championship.
Well, they're only the Cinderella team if they win.
Well, so far they have.
And they did upset Anoka. Anoka, the number 2 seed.
And Irondale.
Well, Anoka, the number 2 seed, losing 2 games. And are out of the tournament.
This one shot straight up. Joel Jordan getting under it. And the inning is history. So the Cardinals can't get any hits. They leave one stranded. It's a scoreless game after an inning.
Let's go.
Orchid Rapids in the bottom.
Boyfriend wants to know if that girl will go out with him. Pass it down.
Hey, Grandma, ask the girl on the end if she wants to go out with this loner.
The young man wants to know if the girl over there is a donor. Somebody wants to know if you're an organ and tissue donor.
Yes.
Hey, me too.
Are you a donor? Make sure your family knows your decision so there's no question later.
It's the Sky Needle, Howie.
Yes, it is. And we're not going to think about the State Fair because when we start thinking about the State Fair, that means the summer is over. And
yeah, but there's a lot of food to be had at the State Fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So we take a look at the faithful out here watching the Cardinals. There's Drexler's numbers for the first inning. He pitched 15 pitches, 8 of those being strikes. Did strike a batter out and gave a free pass to a pony.
First one misses the inside corner to Mike C., the DH. And that one gets Lee C. swinging and evens the count.
There's a look at C's numbers, 286 overall, 3 RBI, has 1 stolen base and a couple of walks.
Fastball high, ball 2.
Now Chad took something off that last pitch, the previous one, where he got had C swing at it.
That's a fastball, but C keeps the bat on the shoulder, and Drexler is behind 3-1 to the first batter of the inning. This is how they started the first inning, and then the 5th pitch was ball 4 and walked Battaglia. But this one is in for a strike, and Dan Anderson makes a good effort, but the foul ball out of reach.
He did have a pretty good jump on it, just over his outstretched glove, but he hustled to see if he could get that foul ball. Obviously, in that kind of situation, as a pitcher, you love to see your defensive players hustling like that. Makes you look a lot better.
Absolutely. So here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back, and C will stay alive.
Now we'll see. The last time Chad pitched, which was against Blaine, threw 106 pitches, and normally that's about what he throws, is right around the 100 mark, maybe a little over.
That is a walk to the leadoff runner.
And I don't think Chad agreed with that call.
I don't think half of this stadium agreed with that call.
We'll take another look at that, Joe. Let's see if you agree with that call as the pitch comes in there. He takes that for the a little bit low, but
looks like it might have been a little low from that angle.
We'll see at the side. That's a strike.
I don't know. That's tight.
That's tight, but I think that was a strike. I don't think it was a below the knees. It was right about knee level.
It was a good dropping fastball. That one didn't drop at all. That one just smoked past Scott Bressler for strike 1. So Mike C. is aboard with the leadoff walk. And the second pitch to Bressler gets behind Newman and moves C to second base.
It's a big play for the Ponies because it takes them out of a double play situation. When you're able to get that runner on a, well, if they'll call that a pass ball, I believe. Gets the runner over to second.
That's going to be, you are correct, Howie, a pass ball. Shows bunt, and it's strike 2. So with the runner at second base, nobody out here in the top of the second. Drexler has the second batter, Bressler, at 1-2. This one hit right back to Drexler. He checks the runner. Now he's going to take that leadoff runner, and Dan Anderson tags him out at first. A good play to get the leadoff run by Chad Drexler.
A very good play. I think C that realized that he probably shouldn't have gone, but overcommitted himself and really was not going to make it back to second base. So he figured the only way I'm going to get out of this is try and get to third, but he had him beat by a fair amount here as Dan made a nice tag on him. Sweeping tag.
He made a good effort. He was
did.
close. Well, yeah, I thought Chad might have held the ball a little too long, but he gets the out. And that is the first out of the inning, and there's a runner at first base.
Oh.
Matt Padgett at the plate, and we see again the pitcher-pitcher duel. This time in reverse, obviously. First pitch is fastball, strike one.
Again, Joe, your defense gets you out of a situation where Chad made a nice play, good decision on his part, and gets that lead runner.
Dan Anderson having a good day on the defense so far. He took care of the double play in the first inning, grabbing the line drive and then throwing out the runner at second. Actually, it was a popped-up bunt, but this one is a single right up the middle. Went right off of second base, and there are runners at first and second.
And quite possibly would have scored a run had they not got that lead runner at second base. But, you know, the situation, I think, Joe, defensively in the infield, this is the best situation the Cardinals can have. Chad Drexler on the mound and Danny Anderson over at third.
It'll bring up the catcher, Adam Soini.
That ground ball, Drex.
There's one out, runners at first and second for Stillwater. Cardinals hoping for the double play ball, of course. This is the ninth batter in the order for Stillwater, their first time through.
I think Chad's going to want to try and keep the ball pretty low here, force him to hit it down on the ground.
Good fastball down the middle, strike one.
And low as well, so that's exactly what Chad wants to do. If they're going to hit it, make them hit it to their strength and to the defense.
And a fastball on the inside corner, strike two. And now Drexler in control, 0-2.
Where a pitcher wants to be.
Called strike three. Second strikeout of the ball game for Chad Drexler, and will return the Ponies to the top of the order. Brian Battaglia walked in his first at bat.
Here's another look at that, Joe, as that fastball goes across, and didn't make much of an effort to hit it, but it was low enough where the umpire felt John felt was in the strike zone.
Another good fastball called strike for Drexler.
When Chad gets in a rhythm, that's when he's hard to hit, and right now he seems to be trying to get to that level.
And he is just all over that outside corner. 0-2. Battaglia walked in the first inning and then moved to second on the hit by pitch, and then he was thrown out at second on the double play. That one thrown way outside, trying to get Battaglia to swing at the 0-2 pitch. No good. 1-2.
You know, control is the key to the game for a pitcher, and he's controlling his curve that he's been throwing to these batters very well.
There's a reason that he is playing D1 baseball next year, and that's it. Strike three to Battaglia. So another hit and two more stranded for the Ponies, but no runs across, and 1.5 done, and there's no score.
We take another look at this strikeout as he just blew this pitch by him. That was a beautiful pitch. Location was great. Broke just a little bit to the outside of the plate. Obviously was not able to get any aluminum on the ball. But that, you're right, Joe. That's a key, and defense gets you out of that inning.
Cardinals will send numbers 5, 6, 7 to the plate. Dustin Wolf, the shortstop, followed by Mike Patterson, and then Ryan Wilson. And Mike Patterson moved down to the 6th position. He's been hitting cleanup almost the whole season, but he is a little cool here in the playoffs.
He is in a little bit of what's called a mini slump, and I think that Coach Cole felt that maybe moving him down and getting a little bit different location, maybe we'll see if he can get out of that slump and get some base hits here this afternoon.
He does have a couple of RBI here in the playoffs, and I think he scored a couple of runs, but he does not have a hit.
Not yet. But today's a good day for him to start.
I was thinking the same thing. It's even 50-50 for Matt Patgett. 10 inside the box, 10 outside. 20 pitches through the first inning. Walked a batter, struck out none. Dustin Wolf at the plate for the Cardinals. And he takes the first pitch into center field. Maxwell can't get it. He misjudged it and then tried to jump. No good. Wolf will round second base. And he will get the hold-up sign, a stand-up triple to lead off the second inning for Dustin Wolf.
That's a big hit for Dustin Wolf, and that too is a little bit changed in the lineup. Dustin has been moved up a little bit as compared to last game, but
I think he likes it.
Yeah, I think so too, but Maxwell really did misjudge that ball because he came in. If he had really kept his ground, he would have had to move back just a little bit to grab that fly ball, but as he came in, there's no chance for him to get, he'd need to be pretty tall in order to get that.
Patterson swings at the first pitch as well, but his fouled back, and it's 0-1.
Well, we'll see if Patterson comes out of that mini slump and see if he can get a base hit here to knock in the first run for the Cardinals.
And this one hit right back up the middle. Joel Jordan over to Bresler, and Patterson is gone.
That was a weak ground ball to second, not allowing Wolf really to have a chance to score on that play.
Bring up Ryan Wilson, who moves up a spot. He's been hitting out of the number 8 spot a lot this year. And he doesn't even think about the first pitch, up and in.
That was a little bit high from Padgett.
That'd be a little high for Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, that would be. We'll see if Willie can get an opportunity to knock in the first run.
And after the high inside changeup, he goes with the fastball down and out. And it's 2-0. That one right down the middle, and Wilson takes it deep to right. Battaglia makes the grab, but he's deep, and that will go in as a sacrifice fly. And the Cardinals are on the board.
Wilson gave it a nice ride to right field, and even if he hadn't slipped, there wouldn't have been an opportunity for him to get Wolf at the home plate because it was hit far and deep enough to score that first run.
That'll bring up Dan Mossy for the first time. And he watches ball one.
Dan getting the opportunity to start out in left field, as we mentioned in the beginning of the game. He's had some good practice time, been hitting the ball in practice, and Coach Cole rewarded him with that opportunity.
Good young athlete for the Cardinals as he fouls that one back into the stands and evens the count. Just a sophomore. He's certainly found his place on the varsity hockey team. And it looks like he is finding his place here on the varsity baseball team as well.
Well, would give him a good opportunity. If he can perform here, he's given the chance. The Cardinals will advance. Hopefully they will advance to the next round. He will get that maybe an opportunity to start another game if he can provide some chemistry here to this Cardinals squad.
And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count is even.
It's a nice fastball from Padgett. He blew that by, Dan.
2 down and nobody on here in the bottom of the second. The 2-2 pitch is hit right back up the middle. Nice grab by Padgett over to Bresler. And the second inning is history, but the Cardinals get a hit and they get a run. They lead 1-0 after 2.
You chose to climb in the train cars.
Stop, man. What are we gonna do? Go for it.
This is the next 60 seconds of your life.
Come on. No! Come on! Help me!
Minnesota's roads can be highways or dieways. The choice is yours.
There's a look at the gentle breeze here at Midway Stadium coming in from the right field. But not so much that it's going to affect a whole lot, Howie.
No, I don't think so. I think Wednesday night we had a little bit more of a breeze here at the Midway Stadium. So it certainly favors the hitters.
There's a look at Drexler's numbers through 2 innings, 22 strikes out of 35 pitches. He struck out 3, including the last 2 batters of the second inning, and he's given up 2 walks. Interesting factoid.
Let's hear it.
They're both the leadoff runners.
Okay.
Joel Jordan watches strike 1. He was hit by a pitch, I guess.
We'll have to come up with a book or something about interesting Coon Rapids factoids, we could call it.
And there he is, Drexler eating up that outside corner with the fastball. And quickly he's ahead of Jordan 0-2. And Drexler thought that was strike 3.
I think he did.
I think it was strike 3.
I think so too. He gave a little smile towards home plate.
But either way, it is umpire Junt's call. He calls it ball as he does that one. And it's 2-2. That one I wouldn't argue it.
No.
That was outside a little. And that one skips through at the feet of Jordan, and there's a full count.
Well, Joe, you had to mention that fact, didn't you? About
well, yeah, but both times before it was after a 3-1 pitch.
Oh, okay. You started
out at 3-1 anyways. This one is chopped to the left side. It's going to hop over Anderson's head, and it's a leadoff single instead.
Now that one was no play for Dan or Dustin to get that ball. It's a high enough chop where they weren't going to get to it, so it was a clean single.
Bring up Andrew Polina. He hit into a double play with a pop bunt to third base. And with your top hitter hitting 362, you had 2 runners on and you give him the bunt. I can understand the bunt call, but maybe not the runner. Here's a chance, but the throw is not in time, and a stolen base for Joel Jordan. That's why he leads the team, and that is his 7th stolen base of the season.
Now, certainly he got a nice jump on that, and Tom Newman tried to make the attempt, threw the ball down there, but he got too big a lead and too big a jump for Tom to have a chance to get him.
So now the 0-1 pitch on the way to Polina. Nobody out, runner at second base. The Cardinals with a 1-0 lead, and Polina follows it back 0-2.
Well, the Cardinals finding a little bit of ways to get themselves in trouble early in the inning. But so far, they've made some nice defensive plays. Drexler has pitched very well, got a number of key strikeouts that have managed to get them out of any kind of trouble that they've got themselves into.
And good defense as well.
I think I said that.
Did you?
I think so.
I just thought you said pitches. All right. I'll agree with you. This one hit right to Dustin Wolf. He'll chase Jordan back to the bag and throw Polina out.
There you go. Get him to hit it on the ground. Let your defense make the play, as evidenced there by that last pitch and hit to Wolf.
That'll bring up Nolan Gusso. He's 1 for 1, singled to right field in the first inning, and then was left stranded at first.
Nolan, the third baseman for the Ponies.
Hitting .254 coming into today's game. And he watches strike 1, a heater through the top part of the strike zone, right down the middle. And now the fastball was down and out. And Gusso not going to swing.
Now, when you get to this level, you have to be patient and wait for your pitch.
And that one skips away from Tom Newman, and Jordan is over to third base. That's the second pass ball of the ball game.
Well, now with 1 out, an opportunity now at the count at 3-0, with the Ponies and now have a runner at third, allowing maybe a run to come across. The ball is low, and it is in the dirt. And I don't know. I don't think you give him a pass ball. I think you give him a wild pitch on that because that ball was in the dirt. Tough one for Tom to get into his mitt.
So a wild pitch and a pass ball. This one deep into right field. Wilson on the run. He's not going to get there. Jordan is going to score. Gusso will hold up at second base. An RBI double ties the game.
Well, Joe, these two teams met earlier in the season. Actually, it was just before, not too soon before playoffs started. The Cardinals won that contest by the score of 3-0. Dan Anderson pitched an excellent game in that contest, and I think that both teams had 3 hits for the entire game.
Well, that was the 4th hit of the ball game for the Ponies, and the first run. This is Joey Corba. Went down on strike stand the first inning. Now there's one away, a runner at second base, and Stillwater trying to take the lead. A big swing from Corba for strike 1.
Talk about a little high heat there.
And Corba bit it.
Oh yeah, big time.
0-1 pitch on the way from Drexler. Low and away, but called strike 2. And once again, we see Drexler ahead of the batter, 0-2.
Corba took a look down at Coach Michael after that call. Maybe he felt that was not a strike.
And that another fastball. And that is the second strikeout of the ball game for Joey Corba, and the 4th for Chad Drexler.
Here's a look at that heat that Drexler threw. Corba missed that. Nice fastball by Chad.
Mike C., the designated hitter, led off with a walk in the second inning. And now Drexler can really focus on the batter. Took a little bit off of that one, a changeup, but it finds the inside corner, strike 1.
Oh, he's been throwing a lot of heat, and that was a great pitch by Drexler to take just a little bit of something off that, caused it to loop into home plate.
And there's the heat. Gets C swinging. And once again, Drexler in front, 0-2 in command.
Now, if you've got the ability to mix up your pitches like Chad does, you really can be ahead of the batter as he is quickly.
And again, we see a fastball on the 0-2 pitch on the outside corner. And once again, Chad Drexler strikes out the last 2 batters of the inning.
And now we see there's a nice look at the people here. Some of the crowd it's starting to fill. It's filling up a little bit. But you're right. You know, he really keeps these hitters guessing with what he's going to throw, or they'd be able to mix it up with a curve or the breaking ball, and certainly with that big fastball as he throws it by him here. But the Ponies managed to put one across and tie this contest up. Joe, it couldn't be a better day to be here at this ballpark.
It's picturesque.
It is picturesque.
It could be a little
postcard.
warmer.
It could be a postcard right there. Yeah.
That could be a postcard.
Yep. Wishing you were here at Midway Stadium.
That is right. Well, we will certainly have a lot of highlights for you for sports night. We got a couple of baseball games to talk about, if nothing else, but we will have something else. We'll have state tennis to talk about. We'll have some baseball, some track and field. That's going on today out at Stillwater, as a matter of fact. We'll have all that for you Tuesday on Sports Night.
Joe, we're getting close to the end of our first season of Sports Night. Couple of shows left, and a tear comes to my eye when I think about the first year gone and by in our inaugural season.
Well, Tom Newman will lead things off for the Cardinals here in the top of the 3rd. He watches ball 1.
Well, Tom earned himself an opportunity to see what he can do at the plate. Last few games, Coach Co chose to hit for Tom, but decided today he's going to give him an opportunity to see what he can do.
And that one just barely missed the inside corner for Padgett, and it's 2-0 to the first batter. Comes back with a fastball on the outside corner and catches Newman swinging.
Well, Joe, you and I had a privilege to do a game earlier in the season. I'm sure you can look that up in your record book. But Tommy got a couple of hits that game, and I'm not sure if it was. I think it was against Park Center.
This one popped up high into the right side of the infield and into the seats.
Now Tom fought that pitch off. Couldn't straighten it out.
I was surprised to see Soini take such a hard run at it. I was pretty sure that was going well into the seats.
Now, when you get up out of your crouch, sometimes you can't judge where the ball is, so you're better off running over there because you never know if you have an opportunity to nab that.
That is the third ball. We'll load the count at 3-2. And that one well outside, so a big pitch here. The Cardinals trying to get their leadoff batter aboard for the second straight inning, and this is going to land for a single for Tom Newman into left field. And that is the way the Cardinals want to start the inning. Not quite the same as starting with a triple from Dustin Wolf. But either way, your batter is aboard, and the Cardinals will take it.
Look at Joel Rump's going to be running for him, but Tommy's got to feel pretty good about that. And that was a nice, solid base hit. So we're going to take another look at it, Joe, as that fastball comes in, and Tom really just connects it. Nice placement just over the shortstop's head into left field and on for a single.
It'll bring Jabril Akinwale to the plate. He grounded out to second base in his first at bat. And now with a runner at first base and nobody out. He watches the first one outside, ball one.
We'll see what Rumsch does as a base runner over at first, what kind of lead he's going to get. Probably take a couple of steps off, and we'll see what Joel's got pretty good speed. We'll see what he can do about maybe a potential stolen base. Padgett keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, Padgett checked on him right away. Akinwale swings at that one. It was a little low. Ended up in the dirt below Soini.
Yeah, I think he felt that the pitch was going to be a little bit higher. I think the bottom came out of it just as it reached the plate.
Sinker.
Jabril couldn't catch himself.
And Rumsch was going the hit and run in effect, but Akinwale fouls it off the net. And he is behind in the count 1-2.
Then they need Jabril's bat right here. Jabril, the leading hitter for the Cardinals, they need him for opportunity to move Rumsch along.
And a lot of room in the outfield here at Midway Stadium. This one chopped up over third base, and it will be a single. Rumsch is going for third, and there's nobody there covering. He will slide in, and he is safe.
And I think he might be hurt on that play. But the ball came loose. That was a close play at third base, as Rumsch decided that he wasn't going to stop. That ball was hit in the shallow left field.
It's a heads-up play because both third baseman Nolan Gusso and shortstop Joey Corba go to the ball, and then Rumsch. Yeah, you see the ball comes loose, but Rumsch was on the bag until Gusso pulled him off, but Gusso lost the ball. So good base running and good heads-up call by Coach Jerry Coe to get the runner to third base with nobody out. Eric Hughes watches ball one.
And Joel is fine. Obviously, shook up just a little bit on that. As it looked like the attempted tag got him in the face.
And watch for the double steal. Joel Rumsch on third is always a danger to steal. And Akinwale going, drawing the throw. He slides in safe, a stolen base.
And a lot of speed on the base pass right now for the Cardinals, with Rumsch at third and Akinwale now at second.
A single puts 2 runs across for the Cardinals. Most likely, I should say.
I must say.
And here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Hughes. Called strike on the outside corner.
1 and 2.
Oh, that's 1 and 2.
That is 1 and 2.
I apologize.
You're forgiven.
I was too busy watching Akinwale steal second. So here's the 1-2 pitch. Hughes will hold back, and the count is even.
Now, Padgett's first pressure here with nobody out, runners at second and third. This is where he going to have to bear back and see if he can get out of this danger for the Ponies.
Chad Drexler and Dan Anderson due up behind Hughes, so a good solid portion of the Cardinal lineup as Hughes fouls that one off the right field line.
Eric fought that ball off a little bit off his hands. He tried to go down right field with it.
And the outfield playing in for Hughes. So a deep fly might not end up being a sacrifice, but actually being an extra base, extra RBI hit. Brandon Maxwell in pretty close in center.
Well, that pitch certainly, he was held up on that. That was very tempting for him, I'm sure.
3-2 pitch, he swings it at it, and it is strike 3, the first strikeout of the ball game for Matt Padgett. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
For him.
Well, that's
yeah,
what
I know. We're going to take a look at that strikeout as fastball comes. Eric Hughes swing and miss, timing off just a little behind it, and he goes down for the strikeout. But with Drexler up now, Drexler's got an opportunity to see what he can do. He took a long one to the wall earlier.
And that one low and away, ball 1 in the dirt. And he, of course, ripped one over the fence in left field to the hot spring little deck in left field.
Where I think they have a hot tub out there.
Hot tub.
It's a hot tub.
Yeah, why aren't we out there? Except for I don't know if the electricity would be a problem in the hot tub.
It might be, for at least, I don't know if I want to take a chance. Our producer just said if we'd maybe get a chance to do that sometime, to announce from the hot tub.
That would be interesting. It'd certainly be a story if nothing else.
It would.
And Padgett in danger of loading the bases, and Adam Soini and head coach Ricky Michael and the rest of the infield go out to try and settle their pitcher with 1 out and runners at second and third. He's behind the batter 3-0.
Well, this is a situation where you obviously it's a good call by Ricky Michael to come down and talk your pitcher a little bit, calm him down. I mean, this is a situation where the loser goes home and you've got 1 away and runners at second and third. You don't want any damage here if you're a Stillwater fan, quite obviously. So it's a good call by Ricky Michael.
And it would be a tough jam as the Cardinals got runners at second and third with nobody out here to start the bottom of the third inning.
Well, Joe, if we get that opportunity to go onto the hot tub, do you think we could get a pair of Cardinals swim shorts?
I am not quite sure how. We can ask the swim team, but they wear Speedos.
Well, then I pass.
I pass too, because not only because I don't want to wear them, I don't want to see you in them.
Well, especially around the dinner hour.
The 3-0 pitch on the way from Padgett to Drexler. It's outside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded.
They're juiced.
They are juiced.
Now Dan Anderson has the opportunity here, see what he can do about getting the Cardinals in this lead. It's knotted up at 1.
And Anderson also has the power to go yard. He's done it before.
Are you calling it?
I'm not calling it. I'm just saying. I've seen him. I've called it when he has hit the home run before. I would think it was pretty cool here because it would be a grand slam.
Yes, it would be, and it would be a great situation. But
first, Padgett must find the plate. 1-0. 6 straight balls from Matt Padgett, and now looking to walk home the leading run. Game tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third. And that one finds the outside corner.
Well, he probably figured he had to throw a fastball down the middle there just to get his location back, to get a little confidence back, because when you've got this situation, you can't lose control of your pitches.
And now 3-1 to Anderson.
A good patience by Dan Anderson at the plate to watch that one go by. You can hear his teammates yell, "Good eye, good eye."
3-1 with bases loaded, and it's going deep. It's going back. It is gone! A grand slam home run for Dan Anderson.
You called it, Joe. You called it. You should have taken the credit for it when I gave you the opportunity. A great pitch, a big fastball from Padgett. Dan Anderson just jumped all over it and took that one out deep to center field.
The entire lineup out to give Dan Anderson the credit he deserves. A good pat on the helmet. A grand slam home run to give the Cardinals the 5-1 lead in the bottom of the third.
Well, he certainly jumped on that one, and we're going to take another look at it as this fastball was perfect fastball for him to hit out, and he got all of that. And immediately, as soon as that ball left the bat, it was gone.
Now, see, if I had said that I call it to be a grand slam, it wouldn't have happened. That's the jinx factor.
Well, I know, but
so actually, by mentioning it, I was calling it.
There you go.
So I called it. Like Babe Ruth.
Oh, God.
Dustin Wolf tripled in his first at bat. A great shot over the head of Brandon Maxwell in center field. He watches the first one, a fastball, strike one.
Dustin last time up hit deep shot to center field.
One out, and the base is clear in the bottom of the third. The Cardinals having a big rally inning.
Well, they certainly are.
And Matt Padgett having an inning he would like to forget.
Well, Coach Co told me, even though they scored 7 runs against Centennial, 8 against Blaine, he really felt that the bats weren't coming to the point where they needed to be, and certainly told me earlier today, the bats have to be there for Coon Rapids to beat Stillwater, and right now, in this third inning, they certainly are.
Well, they have 3 hits and 4 runs.
5 runs.
And only 1 out.
5 runs, Joe.
I'm here in the 4th. I'm talking 4th inning.
No, you said 3 hits and 4 runs.
In the 4th inning.
Okay.
And only 1 out. And the second walk of the inning to Dustin Wolf. Brings Mike Patterson up. And now, Howie, I'm going to call it. Mike Patterson is due.
He is due.
First pitch deep to center field, but it's high. Maxwell under it, makes the catch, and there's 2 away. I went out on a limb.
See what happens when you go out on a limb, Joe?
Sorry.
That's all right.
Ryan Wilson comes to the plate. He got an RBI sacrifice fly in the second inning, bringing home the first run of the ball game. Now with 2 out and Dustin Wolf at first base, the Cardinals have a 5-1 lead in the bottom of the third. And Padgett will check on Wolf at first.
We talked about it. If Padgett continues to throw that fastball, which is what he does, these Cardinal hitters will start jumping on it.
Good fastball, finds the inside corner. And there's 1 strike. That one takes Wilson off his feet. A wild pitch moves Wolf to second.
That pitch came close to hitting him as he was just able to get out of the way of it.
8th batter of the inning for Coon Rapids. Scored 4 on a grand slam home run by Dan Anderson just a moment ago. And now the 1-1 pitch to Wilson with a runner at second. He swings and misses.
Good fastball from Padgett. But certainly when he has his fastball down low, he has a pretty good pitch there, but it's getting it up in the strike zone that's gonna hurt him.
And his second strikeout of the inning ends the third, but not before the Cardinals put a grand slam home run on the board. It's 5-1 after 3.
There's a look at the wonderful state fairgrounds here and the Coliseum, where Joe and I have had the opportunity to do a little hockey this past season.
Been there.
Been there, done that?
Done that.
Yeah. Well,
enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it very much.
Want to go back? I'm enjoying this. Cardinals jumping out to a 5-1 lead on the Grand Slam home run by Dan Anderson.
And couldn't ask for a more timely piece of hitting from Dan Anderson to give Chad Drexler now this 5-1 lead. And Chad's dangerous when he has that kind of a lead.
Scott Bresler leading off. First pitch hit right to Anderson, and there is one down. That worried me a little bit.
Just a little. Danny's having a good day over at the hot corner.
Yeah, but the throw brought Patterson off the base. But he's able to tag Bresler out.
He just kind of.
Yeah, he didn't work too hard for that.
He didn't have to. It was the throw was perfect.
Let him down the baseline.
Yeah,
that's what I meant to do.
I know it.
Yeah, Danny's a quarterback.
That's right.
He's still leading his receiver.
You bet.
Show his receiver where he wants him to go. Second pitch to Padgett is popped up into right center field. Akinwale makes the grab.
Jabril running a long way for that ball as he called off Wilson to haul it in.
Number 2, catcher.
And so 2 up and 2 down in short order here in the top of the 4th. Adam Soini comes to the plate for the Ponies. Struck out in his first at bat. And this time he won't. First pitch is drilled to center field. Hughes makes the grab, and it is a 4-pitch inning for Chad Drexler. He's got to like that.
Well, he certainly has to. It certainly saves his arm. The less pitches, if you can have a 4-pitch inning, that's certainly a great effort by Chad Drexler.
And it helps us keep the showtime down.
Well, yes, it does.
Speaking of pitch count, Drexler now has 56 pitches, 39 for strikes through 4 innings. 67 pitches, 34 for strikes in 3 innings for Padgett. 36 of the 67 pitches he's thrown were in the 3rd inning.
Coach Coe giving Mike Patterson a little bit of advice, encouragement, as he has to be very happy with the way his squad is performing here this afternoon, or I should say this evening.
I think afternoon is accurate enough.
It's late. It's almost 7 o'clock. It's
okay, evening.
Okay.
All right.
Early evening.
Early evening, late afternoon.
It works. It works for me.
Mid-morning. No, it's not mid-morning.
No, it's definitely not. Well, somewhere it is mid-morning.
Somewhere it is mid-morning,
Yep.
guaranteed.
Just not here.
Not here. Not here.
But if the Cardinals win this game, they will be playing mid-morning on Monday.
Now, it's 10 o'clock mid-morning.
It is to me.
I suppose that's got to be mid-morning if 12 is noon.
Matt Padgett's number 67 pitches, 34 for strikes. As Joe, you mentioned, a couple of Ks and 3 walks.
And a tough 3rd inning.
Dave has a fan. We're not sure which Dave that is.
Dave. That would be Dave.
It could be Dave Winfield.
Dave. I'm guessing that might, is that maybe for a Saint?
St. Dave.
It's not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Dan Mossy hit right back to Padgett in his first at bat, and he almost does the same thing, but it gets past Jordan, makes the backhanded grab over to Bresler, and there's one away.
Jordan with a nice play at second base, and Joel Jordan, a member of the Pony football team.
Number 18, catcher, Tom Newman.
Tom Newman to the plate. He started things in the third with a leadoff single. Got the ball rolling, so to speak.
Huh. That was a good one, Joe. It's a Joeism.
It's a Joeism.
Good look at Tommy. Got to be happy with the fact that gets that opportunity to be at the plate and comes through with a base hit.
And he scored a run. Well, his runner scored a run.
But he gets credit.
He gets credit. Called strike 2 on the outside corner, and I don't think Tommy agreed with that.
After all, if it weren't for his base hit, the runner wouldn't have came home.
That is correct. 1-2. Chopped foul down the third base line.
Both teams, White Bear Lake and Moundsview, are now in the ballpark. They play at 8 o'clock this evening or thereabouts.
Should be a good ball game.
That should be a very good ball game.
Interesting to see what Moundsview's like without Graysley on the mound.
They've got a couple good pitchers, though. Nick Wagner's a good pitcher. Wiedewich also is a very good pitcher, and he's probably going to go today.
Well, both times that we've seen him this season, it's been Graysley.
It has been.
And both times he's been a very strong force. Phenomenal in the game on Wednesday, striking out 13.
Joe, he was en fuego.
En fuego.
They're the White Bear Lake Bears here taking on the Moundsview Mustangs earlier. They're taking a look at quite possibly if they do not, one of these teams will play the winner of this game. Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, they're scouting.
The loser of that game is more likely to play the winner of this game. If the winner of this game can beat the Bengals.
There's that Moundsview squad passing
the Mustang.
Passing the sunflower seeds.
So a 2-2 pitch again, and this one is up, and it is caught by Joey Corba. And I thought that one was going to make it into shallow left field.
I did too, and I think that stung his hands. But you're right, that was about the same place, just not quite as much power as he put it the last time.
Brings Jabril Akinwalny to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He scored a run, stole a base. Came in from second on the grand slam. He watches strike 1 on the outside corner. That one fouled off the end of the bat. Strike 2. So 2 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. The Cardinals lead 5-1. And that pitch is high for ball 1.
And we have a little activity in the bullpen for the Ponies. Number 27, Kyle Thompson, is throwing the ball on the mound.
This one chopped short off the infield and foul. Akinwalny will stay alive. Here's a look at the bullpen activity.
It's Kyle Thompson, number 27. Now we don't have any numbers on Kyle Thompson. I'm not sure how many opportunities he's had to pitch for Stillwater, but
and again the 2-2 pitch. This time Akinwalny fans, and the Cardinals go 3 up and 3 down in the 4th. They lead 5-1.
I'm made of skin and bones.
I'm made of muscles.
Eyes, nose, my imagination, forgiveness, all I think and all I feel.
I'm made of skin and bones.
What's inside me? Love,
Honesty and truth.
I give you love and hope.
we are made of many things. Every piece is special.
Please.
Please help prevent child abuse. I am strong, powerful.
So what are you made of?
Songs of freedom.
Oh, we got Joe singing just a little bit.
I ever need.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
Well,
God,
Bob
you
Marley.
should be.
I should be, sorry.
Oh, man.
You are correct.
I think I just heard a dog howl.
Keep your day job.
Yes, please.
I've heard that once or twice. The Cardinals holding on to a 5-1 lead thanks to a grand slam home run by Dan Anderson in the bottom of the third inning. And Howie, I'm guessing that's going to be our play of the day.
So far, I would assume that's our play of the day. I would have to think that if this game stays this way or gets more out of hand than it is, it would have to be our play of the game.
And Dan doing a nice job in the defense too. He's playing strong in the field.
And he's had a tough outing the other night, but he has been playing well when he has an opportunity to get on the mound.
Look at the numbers for Chad Drexler: 58 pitches, 39 for strikes. And the top of the order here in the fifth for Stillwater, Battaglia is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk. And he's ahead of Drexler 2-0 to start the inning.
Chad falling a little bit off the mound on that pitch, maybe causing it to head a little bit outside.
This one chopped to the right side. Patterson jumps up, grabs it, and there's one down. Bring Joel Jordan to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's got a he's 1 for 1 rather. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and he scored a run, stole a base, and then scored the only run for the Ponies in the top of the third inning.
We got an opportunity to take a look at that nice play by Mike Patterson.
That was pretty tough for me to say.
Yeah, well, we just let you hang in there and get it out.
Thank you, appreciate it. 1-0. And that one misses on the inside corner. 2-0.
Well, maybe you should start heading that singing career going a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can work on that as well.
Got a lot of work to do.
Well, you got that verse out easier than that last sentence.
Oof. Joel Jordan ducks away from ball 3, and it's good because that one probably would have rung his ear.
My back, all the way back.
So Drexler behind 3-0, and he comes back with the fastball down the middle for strike 1. This one chopped to the left side. Anderson spins over to Patterson, and 2 down.
Strong infield for the Cardinals today. Nice plays made all around.
It'll bring Andy Polina to the plate. He is 0 for 2. Hit into a double play in the first inning and grounded to short in the third.
See, right now with the Cardinals, their defense is playing well. Their hitting is certainly coming around, and Chad Drexler is having a nice day on the mound, and those are the 3 obviously constants that you want for successful baseball.
And of course, when Dan Anderson puts a bases loaded shot over the left field fence, that always helps matters.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, does it?
Drexler ahead on Polina, 0-1. And then the off-speed pitch, hacked foul down the first base line. That almost held into the line there and would have been an easy play for Mike Patterson.
Yes, it would have.
Tommy, you're in charge now. Come on.
And again, an inning where so far Chad has not thrown a lot of pitches.
Oof. That was a ways outside, but nice defensive play by Tom Newman, because that ball had some mustard behind it.
Oh yeah, Tom made a made a nice. Not that it would have had any damage one way or the other, but certainly made a nice stab out there.
1-2, and the swing and the miss, and they have to retire him at first, but it is a strikeout. So 3 up and 3 down in the 5th for the Bears.
And a quick inning again for the Cardinals, and exactly that's what you want to do. You've got. We'll take another look at that. Is that that was a strikeout? Ball was down in the dirt. Tom made a nice play, kept it in front of him, and easily threw out the runner. So he throws it over to Patterson.
Only 12 pitches in that inning for Drexler.
And 4 the inning before.
4 the inning before. He's keeping the pitch count down there.
I'd say so.
Must have heard you giving him a hard time about those high pitch counts.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly.
That's a motivating factor.
Yeah, when Howie says
prop plane.
It is a prop plane.
Yes, don't see those very often, but.
Hey, wait a minute! It's carrying a sign that says, "Hey, Howie." I'll tell you.
Howie, you got fans everywhere.
I
really
do.
wouldn't surprise me.
Our names are on TV, Joe.
They are.
They are. Look. That's us.
Hey, I get top billing. I love that.
It's called an ego thing.
So the meat of the order is kind of up again for the Cardinal lineup. It's hitters 2, 3, 4. That includes Eric Hughes, Chad Drexler, and Dan Anderson. I think it'd be kind of cool to see a multiple home run game.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be kind of cool. I would be happy for Dan and for us, for the Cardinal organization.
We have a new pitcher on the mound. It's going to be Andrew Polina. So there's going to be some.
Could have told you that.
Yeah, but why didn't you?
I didn't. I wanted you to figure it out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Which means that we're going to have a new left fielder. That could be Kyle Thompson out there.
Kyle Thompson.
Kyle got an opportunity, so throw a little bit over on the sidelines, get himself warmed up before he came out in the game, and that's exactly who it is, Kyle Thompson.
And now we'll see how Polina does from the mound. First pitch, misses outside, ball 1.
You know, Kyle must be new to this squad because I don't even have him on the season summary totals for statistics for the Stillwater.
Secret weapon, maybe.
Apparently he is.
That one also ball 2. Also misses outside.
Polina's stats you see there, what we didn't get a chance to is his win. He has a 3-3 record right now.
Polina trying to find that outside corner.
3.78 ERA. Sorry,
there.
Joe.
2-1, and he found it again to even the count.
I just talked right over you, didn't I? That was good.
It's never happened before, I'm sure. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped to the left side. Scooped up by Gusso. Over to Bresler, and there's one away. It was a pretty nice play by Gusso. He had to reach down to the shoelaces and kind of dig that one out. Drexler to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Scored a run after walking in the 3rd. He drove one deep to center in the first inning, but not quite deep enough.
And I think when Chad hit that ball, he thought that was gone because he seemed a little disappointed once that ball was cut.
I thought that ball was gone
I
for a
thought so
minute.
as well.
Breaking ball misses outside to even the count at 1-1. There's one away and nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. The Cardinals leading 5-1. And this one popped up high on the left side. Gusso calls off, makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
Little work in this inning for Gusso over at third base.
And now we'll see how Dan Anderson follows up the Grand Slam performance.
Well, you certainly, I don't think you can top that performance, but you certainly can.
Pretty hard.
You certainly can add to it.
Now, an in-the-park home run might top it for me. That would be impressive.
That would be impressive.
First pitch a bit high, ball 1. I don't even know if Jamel Alkins would have that kind of speed.
He might.
Jamel's pretty quick.
He is fast.
Of course, he's not a baseball player.
No, but that's why he's running track, because he is fast.
That's right. Even Jabril. Jabril's got wheels, too. So is Joel Rumsch.
Yep.
I think those are probably the 2 fastest guys on this squad.
Yep, I think you're right.
And I don't think there are many teams defensively that they could round the bases without hitting it out.
You're right.
That's quite a challenge. Two down with the bases clear in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-1 pitch from Polina to Anderson. Make it 3-1.
Certainly when you're facing another pitcher, you've got to see what kind of delivery they have the first time up. And Dan certainly get an opportunity to see Polina here as he takes the count to 3-1.
Now, it was a 3-1 pitch that he put over the fence. We'll see what happens here. This one chopped high. Gusso to Bressler. And that'll be the inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Cardinals.
Tie goes to the runner, Joe. I think he was, I don't know, it looked like he was on the bag, but we'll take another look. I could be wrong. It was a hopper to third. That's tough to say.
That's tight, tough call.
Yep.
You only get one chance to make it. He made it. Either way, it's the end of 5. The Cardinals 5, the Ponies 1.
We must all be more diligent about not wasting energy. By George, I think I've got it.
It's elementary. We face an awful waste of energy. To find a remedy, it's up to you, it's up to me.
We all agree it's true. The world has got a major job to do. If we might just review, it's up to me, it's up to you.
Please don't waste energy.
And look at how beautiful it is here at Midway Stadium on a Friday evening.
Well, there we are up in the press box. I don't think they can see us from here, but
probably not.
No. There we are. But it is a beautiful, it's a great place to play a ball game. And we've had a couple of good days here. Had fun doing the game. It's a little chilly.
A little chilly over here in the shade. Not much sun to be had inside the ballpark at this hour. This is Nolan Gusso leading off. He's 2 for 2. The single, a double, and an RBI.
And Nolan got all the action at third base last inning. All 3 outs were recorded by Nolan.
Well, 1 put out, 2 assists.
Okay. He got all the action down at third base.
That he did. And Drexler throws 2 balls and falls behind 2-0 before throwing 1 inside and backing Gusso off the plate, and it's 3-0. Drexler has retired the last 8 batters he's faced. But not this one. 4 straight balls and a leadoff walk for Nolan Gusso. Brings Joey Corba, the shortstop, to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. 1 called, 1 swinging.
Chad so far has his number this evening. He's, as you said, struck him out a couple of times, and good opportunity for Chad to not worry about this runner. We may see him take off here.
First pitch, fastball on the inside. Strike 1.
Gusso got a nice lead, went off with the pitch, but wasn't going to go anywhere there.
Well, Newman's got a pretty effective pickoff to second base.
He's got a nice arm.
Good deterrent, and now he will get out of his stance and make sure Gusso checks back to first.
0-1 now.
And now Drexler checks on Gusso at first.
Okay.
And the 1-1 pitch is high, ball 2.
Chad, I think, is just trying to get that pitch count up just a little bit, keep it more in line where he normally is.
And this one hit deep to left field. Mossy gets under it, makes the catch, and Gusso has no chance at getting to second.
No, Mossy made a nice catch out there and certainly got the ball in quickly. Wasn't going to allow Gusso to advance a base. That'll be the first out of the inning for Coon Rapids.
And we've got a new batter coming in place of the designated hitter, Mike C. This is John DeVries.
John DeVries is batting .241 on the season. The opportunities he's had at the plate.
That one gets away from Newman momentarily, but not enough for Gusso to move to third.
Well, Tom quickly recovered on that. Made sure he went over and grabbed the ball and kept a good eye on Gusso.
So a 1-0 pitch. And 2-0. One out, a runner at first base. Cardinals leading 5-1 in the top of the 6th. And a fastball right down the middle for strike 1 to John DeVries.
There you see DeVries' numbers. It's 5 RBI, walked 5 times, and scored 5 runs.
Now it's the 3-1 count to DeVries. Gusso on first with a leadoff walk. Corba flew out to left field, and this one driven to right. On the run is Ryan Wilson. He can't make the grab. Gusso is rounding second. Hughes has it. Gusso will check in at third. A double for John DeVries.
But DeVries gave that ball a nice ride as he put it over Wilson's head out and right. Jumped on that fastball by Drexler.
And now 2 runners in scoring position for the Ponies, with only 1 away in the top of the 6th. They trail by 4. Scott Bresler at the plate. 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning, but left stranded at second base. Grounded out to shortstop in the 4th. Bresler watches strike 1, a fastball along the inside corner. Bresler not giving Drexler a lot of breathing room on the inside corner of the plate.
He's close to that plate.
Second pitch is fouled back off the mesh, and 0-2.
That was the first that Chad has been tested in the last few innings with runners at second and third and only 1 away. This is a situation where obviously Chad's going to go after the hitter. And
this is the first time a Pony other than Joel Jordan has been at third base.
Stat of the day.
Pitch is high for ball 1. Jordan reached third twice. He reached in the first and then was stranded there, and then he scored the only Pony run in the third on a double by Gusso. This one into center field. Akinwale is on it, and here comes Gusso tagging up, and there's not going to be a play. Both runners advance on the sacrifice fly.
Well, that ball was hit deep enough to center field where Gusso was really just watched it all along, stood on the base and made that move to the plate, and would have been had to be a great throw to get an opportunity to get him out at home.
That'll bring up Matt Padgett.
Well, the Ponies trying to mount a rally here as they score another run and cut the lead to 3 for Coon Rapids, making it 5-2.
Drexler making sure that DeVries doesn't get many ideas over there on third base. 2 out and a runner at third. And a ball high to Matt Padgett.
Pitch just a little high, and I don't think Chad agreed with that pitch, Joe. I think he felt that was in the strike zone, but John Junt, the home plate umpire, did not agree with him. Well, that pitch he certainly gave him as a strike. Nice fastball down low for Drexler.
Evens the count at 1-1. And there he finds the outside corner with another fastball, and he's ahead of the count.
When Chad bears down, boy, he certainly has that fastball moving. It's a tough one to hit.
And I saw a gentleman with a radar gun down there earlier. Be interested to find out if he's clocking Drexler, and if so, what he's clocking. But I don't see it. I see the gentleman. I see it in its case, but it's not out. Swung on and missed, and Drexler gives up 1 hit and 1 run, but the Cardinals still lead by 3 after 6.5 or 5.5.
A little bit of trouble that inning for Chad, but he was able to get out of it with only 1 run that comes across the plate for Stillwater. The Mounds View players deciding to move on as that we get to the bottom of the 6th inning here, as they get ready for their game against White Bear Lake. The White Bear Lake players doing the same on the other side of the field. There's the pig weather vane. Whether he is the mascot here.
They get a new piggy mascot here for the Saints every year.
And I hear the competition is very tough between the pigs on who is actually going to be the mascot for the Saints.
Yeah, you got to have the particular grunt and snort and oink.
And oink. Well, oink is really important.
Oink is the important one.
The judges look at the oink.
The grunt is a pretty big deal too.
And the way the tail is curled as well. If you've got a pig with a tail that's curled in a certain way, that gives them an advantage as well. We'll look at Polina's numbers. 12 pitches, 6 of those for strikes in his first inning of work.
Dustin Wolf will lead things off. He's 1 for 1 with a triple, a run, and a walk. And he watches ball 1. Patterson and Wilson due up behind him. That one hit the dirt well before the plate.
Dustin, the heart of that Cardinal defense, playing shortstop so well for the Cardinals this season.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Glad to hear it.
We're at the bottom of the 6th. The Cardinals with a 5-2 lead, trying to cruise their way into the next round of the playoffs. Dustin Wolf with a 3-0 count leading off in the bottom of the 6th. That one finds the outside corner from Andrew Polina.
Say, Joe, you know what the name of the pig is this year here at the at Midway Stadium for the mascot for the state? They change the name every year. Do you know what it is this year?
Howie? No, that's wrong.
No. Oh, I see. Was that supposed to be funny? Okay, I didn't. It went right over my head. The name of the pig is Hammy Davis Jr.
I like it.
Yeah, I do.
I like it. 3-2 pitch. Hit to the left side. It is going to get into the gap, and a leadoff single for Dustin Wolf.
I was going to say that that baseball had eyes as it found the hole between short and third. Wolf is on base again.
That's right.
Well, so far
on base
changed
percentage 100.
This is the change as we see the tail end of that play as going through the infield. The change in the lineup offensively for Coach Co really has worked to a T here this afternoon. Rumpsch is going to run for Dustin Wolf, as he had he did so earlier in the game for Tom Newman.
Yep.
I guess Matt Padgett's out playing center field, Joe. I was able to read his number from here.
Yeah, you were. Mike Patterson chops this one to second base. They'll get the leadoff runner. So a fielder's choice, and Patterson is aboard.
Ball hit directly at second base. Perfect play to set up to get that leadoff.
Lose the base runner. And now Ryan Wilson is at the plate. He's 0 for 1, struck out. Hit a sacrifice fly to bring the first run of the game across in the second inning. He watches ball 1.
And Ryan, who is a co-captain for this baseball squad.
Hits this one right back up the middle. Polina can't grab it, but right at second base. And an easy double play, Corba to Bresler. And that will do it for the 6th. The Cardinals will try.
It was called the greatest generation any society has ever produced. They were ordinary people who half a century ago did nothing less than help save the world. Millions served in uniform, millions more served at home, and nearly 500,000 gave their lives. And yet there is no national memorial to honor their sacrifice. It is time to say thank you.
Call now and help build the National World War II Memorial.
Oh, there we go.
And you see the train rolling by behind the mitt there.
See, if you hit the ball through the mitt, you win a free meal at Dave's Barbecue.
That's it?
That's it.
You'd be like getting like a Mercedes or...
Oh, it's Lloyd's Barbecue. I'm sorry, Lloyd's Barbecue. We don't want to...
Lloyd's is good barbecue too. I will say, for barbecue you can find in the supermarket, Lloyd's
it's not bad.
Is very good.
Not bad.
And it depends on which Dave's you go to. The quality.
Hey, you know, you can't say too much. You never know when Dave's going to come up to you and say, "Hey, Joe, I saw you on TV. Here's a free dinner to one of my restaurants." Then you'll be saying, "Hey, Dave, you got a great place there."
I'll be saying, "Hey, I got to make sure I don't go to that one."
I know which one you're talking about.
Adam Soini leading things off in the top of the 7th. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and popped out to short right field. Fastball is low, apparently, for ball 2.
Oh, this is the last opportunity for Stillwater if they're going to stay in this game. They've got to mount a rally here in the top of the 7th inning.
They must get 3 runs at least. And quickly, Drexler's behind 3-0.
I think, again, Chad, the pitch before that felt that was a strike just by his reaction.
4 straight balls to Adam Soini and a leadoff walk for the Ponies in the 7th.
Chad shakes his head a little bit, and I think he's getting a clarification on where the strike zone is from the umpire, where they're calling it.
Brian Battaglia at the plate. He's 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning, struck out in the second, and grounded to third in the 5th.
Ground ball. Sure one.
And that one finds the outside corner, strike 1.
Oh, he certainly liked that pitch, and Chad wants to keep the ball low, obviously, here. Force him to hit something on the ground. Got an opportunity to turn 2.
That one fouled off the inside part of the bat. Drexler did a nice job of kind of handcuffing Battaglia. The inside pitch got him to commit, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2.
Here we see Battaglia's numbers for the day. 0 for 2, a walk, strikeout, and ground up.
Go-to pitch is high and outside for ball 1.
I think Chad was throwing that high heat and a little bit outside, trying to get him to see if he would chase at it.
That one called ball inside. 2-2. That one fouled back into the mesh, and Battaglia will stay alive. Nobody out and a runner at first base. The Ponies trail by 3 in the top of the 7th.
Obviously, the Ponies know that if they can't get anything done here, they go home and they're eliminated from this tournament, which is double elimination.
This one popped up high into right field. It's going to be foul. Wilson on the run, but he's not going to be able to make it. A good effort, though.
Well, that ball, he had to run a long way for that opportunity.
Battaglia stays alive. Soini stays at first. Cardinals 3 outs away from moving on to take on arch rival, the Blaine Bengals.
The Blaine Bengals. Who they played a little bit earlier and beat 8-0.
And have beat in 2 games, I think, by a combined score of like 19-1. Isn't that right?
Well, all that matters is that Blaine beat Anoka, and certainly that
they played a good game.
They really have.
They did look good. Joel Jordan comes to the plate after Battaglia goes down on swings.
19-1, they've outscored Blaine this season.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Strike 1. Jordan is 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the first. He singled in the third, stole second, moved to third on a pass ball, and then came home on the double by Gusso. He grounded out to third base in the 5th inning.
Well, that offering from Chad was just a little bit low. It's going to even the count at 1-1.
That one finds the outside corner, and a quick move to first base by Newman, but Soini able to get back in time.
Well, Tom's been looking down there all evening, and that opportunity, he thought he had the chance to pick him off. Made a nice throw down to first, but runner got back quickly.
And once again, Drexler in front of the batter, 1-2. 1 out, 1 on, top of the 7th inning, and this one hit right back to Drexler. He'll go over to Wolf, and Wolf can't make the play. That will go in as a throwing error against Chad Drexler.
Well, Chad originally, when he grabbed the ground ball, was going to throw over to first. He heard one of his teammates or a coach could be come from the bench to yell, throw to 2. Turned around, threw the ball low. Wolf really didn't have a great opportunity to ground it. To grab that ground ball on the ground. He's going to short hop right here.
And then it hit him right in the palm. And so that one will go in as an error. But either way, the Ponies have 2 runners on and 1 out here in the 7th inning. And this is their best hitter, Andy Polina.
Well, the Ponies certainly must have their rally caps on in the dugout, because this is the point with 1 out, 2 on.
And now
trailing
Coach
by
Go
3.
is moving out to the plate to try and settle his pitcher. Polina hitting .362 coming into the game, is 0 for 3 so far today. He hit into a double play on the blooper bunt in the first. He grounded out to short in the third, and he struck out in the 5th.
So Joe, would you say he's due? Oh, they're bringing in Ryan Wilson, I guess. They're coming in, maybe feels that Chad's gone far enough, and has the opportunity to see what they can do about bringing Wilson in to see if he can do closing it out.
Well, he had thrown 90 pitches coming into the inning.
Well, that's about where he throws it. Chad not too happy there with the fact that he threw that ball down in the dirt. Could have quite possibly got them out of this inning. But Ryan is gonna play. We'll see what, I think Chad is gonna go to left. We'll see what we can do. If we see, I think is Mossy gonna move over to right? I believe so.
He threw 106 pitches on the day, 63 of them for strikes.
There's Dan Anderson and Chad Drexler talking a little bit, as one of them's going to walk out to left field. I think it's going to be Chad. But,
Struck out 8 batters.
We'll see. And then Dan Mossy does move over to right field, replacing Ryan Wilson. And Ryan's having a little bit of a uniform change at the mound, taking off one of his shirts that he was wearing underneath his jersey.
Loosen up the arm a little bit.
Yep. So we'll get a chance to see Ryan Wilson. We saw Ryan Wilson earlier in the season, Joe, and maybe you could take a look through your book and see which game that was.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I know you have it there, so I'm not sure exactly which game that was. I think it was earlier in the season for us. Well, I think we saw him. I'm not sure. Maybe he started a game that we did and had a pretty good outing.
Let's see. That was a game we did not do, but he looks like he pitched. Not even sure who that is. I didn't write it down. Never mind, that didn't exist.
Here are the we're going to take a look at the final numbers for Chad Drexler. 107 pitches thrown today, 63 for strikes, 8 strikeouts, 4 base on balls. So, you know, certainly he was on the top of his game, but got in a little bit of a trouble here. And certainly Coach Coe wants to make sure he preserves this victory for the Cardinals so they can move on and play Blaine 10 o'clock on Monday morning.
Brits played against Park Center.
Okay.
He played against Moundsview.
Moundsview, okay.
Closed out the game, played the last 4.
In relief of Drexler.
Through the last 4 innings.
There's a good look at Ryan Wilson on the mound for Coon Rapids, as he gets a few warm-up tosses. Get his arm loose.
Struck out 2 in those 4 innings. Walked 1. Gave up no runs. 3 hits. That was a fun game, the Moundsview regular season Moundsview game. Very, very fun. Very active bullpen for the Cardinals. On the right, number 45, Adam Notch. On the left, number 16, Brandon Olson.
And Adam came in relief for Dan Anderson against Moundsview. He actually pitched a pretty good game. He's a tall kid and has got a lot of opportunity. I believe he is a junior.
At this point, we're hoping we don't need to see either of those pitchers.
No, exactly. We
Cardinals just 2 outs away from victory.
Number 9, pitcher, Andrew Polina.
Polina at the plate. He will step back in, facing number 9, Ryan Wilson on the mound. And the count already at 1-0. 1 out, runners at first and second for Stillwater. They trail by 3. And Wilson goes for the pickoff, and he's got him. And they will run down. They'll run down Soini. They won't get Jordan, but Soini is gone.
And credit Ryan Wilson with that play. Heads up play by Wilson.
Pickoff move.
As he had him dead to rights.
You know, I believe earlier in the season I said something about a pickoff to second, and you said you don't see many guys that have a good pickoff move to second.
I remember.
That's a good pickoff move to second. Wilson's 5th pickoff of the season. And now maybe talking a little strategy, they figure why throw a pitch if I can get Jordan to lead off.
Just keep picking guys off of base and see if they can get out of the inning that way.
Jordan's dangerous though. Jordan is their leading base stealer. But instead he throws a pitch, ball 2 to Polina.
You know, Joe, that could have been one of the reasons Ryan Wilson came in, because of that good pickoff move.
And Jordan is not being very. He is not being very aggressive on that second base. He knows that Wilson has a good move, so he is not going to be too daring. And now Polina is no longer the tying run. Instead, a home run here would only cut the lead to 1. But Nolan Gusso is on deck. He is 2 for 2 with a single, a double, a walk, and a run. So he has been on base all 3 times he's been to the plate. And a walk for Polina.
Certainly, Joe, at this point, that's going to set up a force play. If Wilson keep the ball low, get him to hit it on the ground. And you're right, Gusso is certainly dangerous at the plate this afternoon.
Both times he's hit, it has been out to right field and right center. The first hit coming on the first pitch. And he doesn't swing at the first pitch here. Instead, he watches it go by for strike 1.
Ryan threw that fastball by him for the first strike.
2 out and 2 on in the top of the 7th. And the 0-1 pitch is swung on, hit high into right field. It's going to be foul, and none of the Cardinals are going to be anywhere near it.
Well, good hustle by the Cardinal players as the ball falls into the bullpen, Cardinal bullpen.
That was a long run for Mike Patterson and, Dan Mossy. I was going to say Ryan Wilson, but
and Eric Hughes, who's over there on the plate.
Over there too, getting their exercise, keep the blood warm. 0-2 pitch on the way from Wilson to Gusso. Gusso trying to keep his on-base percentage at 100 for the game.
Oh, Wilson's exactly where he wants to be.
2 out and 2 on. The pitch is high and outside. Ball 1.
Nice stop by Tom Newman. He has to go to his right to grab that outside pitch.
And that could be very dangerous with 2 runners on.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to throw the ball away in this situation.
And this one popped up foul behind the mesh and out of play. And the backstop not real close here at Midway Stadium.
Nope.
So Newman would have to get up and move a ways, especially on a pitch like that where it's going away outside because directly behind the catcher, the backstop is a lot closer than it is just a couple of feet to either side.
Just missed on that pitch as he tried to pull the string a little bit.
2-2 with 2 out and 2 on, top of the 7th. This one's hit into the gap in left center. It will bring Jordan around to score. Polina will round third. He is going to score. And the tying run is at second base. A 2-run double for Nolan Gusso.
Well, certainly right now in the game, how important was that pickoff by Ryan Wilson? He did not record that out. That would have tied the game at 5, and we'd be looking at a different situation. Now with still 2 outs and a runner at second, Corba, who has not been hitting the ball here this afternoon, is
0
coming
for 3, flew out to left field and a pair of strikeouts.
Wilson hung that pitch up just a little bit in the strike zone. Gusso jumped on it, putting it to the gap.
Cardinals led this game in the bottom of the 3rd by a 5-1 tally after the grand slam home run by Dan Anderson. And since, the Stillwater Ponies have been climbing their way back into it. They scored a run in the 6th. They have 2 here in the 7th. And trying for at least 1 more to at least make the Cardinals bat here in the 7th inning.
That ball's a little high as well now.
2-0. The count to Joey Corba. 2 out and a runner at second base. That's the tying run. And that one finds the inside corner. Corba stepped away from the plate like that was going to hit him. But called by home plate ump John Junt, strike 1. Then on the other corner, and no, they're going to say that was a ball outside, and 3-1.
Big situation here for Ryan Wilson. He's got to put one in the strike zone here.
3-1 pitch is chopped and will go foul, and the count will be full.
Oh, a situation where you've got a batter who's at the plate is really not hitting well. Put the ball in the strike zone and let him make him hit that ball. Make him put the ball in play.
The Cardinals are 1 strike away from moving on and take the Blaine Bengals. But they are a single away from being in a tie game. So this next pitch is all important. A ball would walk the batter and put the leading run on base for the Ponies, but it's not a ball. It's hit to right field. Dan Mosse will make the catch, and the Cardinals are victorious.
Well, nice positioning by Mosse as he was playing perfectly out there in right field, and that ball fell right to him as he's getting congratulations from his teammates for making a nice catch to end this ball game, and the Cardinals will move on to play Blaine on Monday at 10 a.m.
The Cardinals played a good game. They jumped out to the lead early. They really, you look at the first run they scored was good base running, good strategy. The second time they scored was some good bats loading up the bases with nobody out, and then one big crack at the bat by Dan Anderson, and that is our play of the game. We'll listen in. And it's going deep. It's going back. It is gone! A grand slam home run for Dan Anderson.
You called it, Joe. You called it. You should have taken the credit for it when I gave you the opportunity. A great pitch, a big fastball from Padgett. Dan Anderson just...
I actually got a chill up my spine listening to that, Howie.
Well, it was a nice call, Joe, certainly, and obviously the hit of the game for the Cardinals. And our hats off to the Ponies for making that comeback and making this game a little more interesting than it was when it was 5-1.
Speaking of our hats, we should take our hats off to the Cardinal program that we've had so much fun with this season, especially since they gave us the hats earlier before the game, and we certainly appreciate that, and we've appreciated all the nice things we've heard from the baseball players and that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, Howie, this could be our last ball game, depending on what happens on Monday and what happens with the future games.
Well, don't say that, Joe. That makes me sad a little bit because we've had a lot of fun. In fact, I think this is our 8th ball game that we've televised for
ninth, and they're 8-1.
They're 8-1.
With us in the booth.
8-1. So I think that bodes well for the Cardinals when we televise a game. Not that we're going to take credit for their wins.
So the Cardinals will play the Bengals Monday morning in Anoka, and we will have those highlights for you next week, next Tuesday, on CTN Sports Night. And then if they can win, they will take on the loser of tonight's game between Mounds View and White Bear Lake that night back here at Midway Stadium. Actually, I should say that afternoon.
2 o'clock.
So if they can win 2 more, they get another shot at being the section champions and moving on to the state tournament.
And then hopefully that we'll be back doing that game if they're fortunate enough to go on.
Keep our fingers crossed, and we want to thank you all for being with us tonight. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We've certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. The final score, the Cardinals 5, the Ponies 4. For everyone here at CTN Sports, thanks for joining us. For Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.